well. Are you more confident in tank shred on one side or the other?
Yeah, I mean, you have to give the tank shred opportunity to the double ADCs, right? I mean,
Right.
Medusa, because the great thing about this double hunter comp is that one of them can go
Short
just
tight
tight
on positioning on map. Look at him hovering near this red buff. I wonder if Shinto's spotted him out. They're moving in aggressive.
Let's move towards the blue buff on the opposite side here, at least by Scary. That won't go their way. Inbound, now stuck between Rongyu and Shinto in the detonate. Not enough, so it needs one more auto. It'll be Rongyu on the board first for the Atlantis Leviathans, striking first blood.
Yeah, Rongyu just takes the last hit. Maybe Shinto not super happy about it, but at the end of the day, first blood for the Atlantis Leviathans.
Versus level 5 on Panatom, so that Palau is available to the jungler and no CC immunity on the side of Inbound here for a couple of more levels. Ultimate by Scream gets the beads on Shinto. Centaurus needs one more hit, but Baronic can't find the damage out there. He does have the Master Shot to at least trade out and get one, but now with the Palau, 2 pulled in there. No, nobody pulled in. A nice cleanse by Baronic will get the team out.
Rongyu steps up, but just to make sure the Solar Scarabs aren't able to keep walking into that tower. And
It's been quite a long
clean
time
pick.
since we've seen any more aggression thrown towards this Zeus. So long, in fact, that Shinto's been able to get his beads back up now. Could be Zapman in danger. A turnaround Petrify and a leap out of Zapman's not going to get him very far. The ultimate, maybe a little unnecessary there at a Scream, not realizing his damage would be enough to get that kill. The Solar Scarabs now with their second on the board.
Yeah, Bobby playing very far forward here. 3-man stack from the
This is
Leviathans.
now,
the red
what,
buff.
the third time that we've seen this Scarabs roster kind of make their way towards this red to establish some pressure, maybe some more here on the Zapman. 40 seconds till those beads are back up. The stun is good. The ult from Scream will lock him down, and that should be the setup for Stewart to knock him down. Zapman goes out yet again, and Stewart can finally put his name up.
Man, Scream's just doing so much for his team right now. So active on the map. We have not seen that same level.
And that should be the end of it there. But going back to, I mean, Jade Emperor's Crown, we see it on solo laners more often. Don't typically see it on these mid lane mages.
Yeah, it's a good deal of survivability, and I suppose Shinto concerned about the dive coming his way as Rongyu over the wall, horrific emblem out. This could be a fight.
Pyromancer leashed. Rongyu transforms in the middle of 3. Inbound will lock him down. The cat slowing him down. And Scary D on the backside of the fight should be able to run back through. Does pop his beads to continue the aggression up against Rongyu. So low, and Scary D will find the kill on the backside of the fight. But can Scary D find a way out of this fight? It's Yarkor now into the Descent to Madness. Inbound will throw up the wall to hold Yarkor back, and that wall lasts just long enough to create enough distance for the Scarabs to find their way out.
Multi-man TKO, though, for the Leviathans has
Full
opened the door.
Obelisk online for the Solar Scarabs, and whoever decides to go overhead and pick up that scepter. Inbound goes in with the Blink Freeze, gets the beads out of Zapman. A dash in from Stewart. It's a big damage after, but the wall will not stop Zapman. He's got to leap to get over another one, but Scary D was around that wall. The stun is here, the Bear Claw right after, and Scary D puts a 5th one up for the Scarabs.
The timing of that teleport has got to be so frustrating for Zapman. Scary
double
D.
stack here. But the Solar Scarabs up 5-1, 16.5 minutes in. Pyromancer has respawned. Last time, the fight from the Leviathans pushed the Scarabs out and away from this objective so they could take it. And it'll be the Leviathans starting it up one more time. Already half HP. It is shredding fast. They will go ahead and grab that one while Yarkor gets grabbed by the cat. Frozen as soon as he stops and plays a wall up to block the path. But Yarkor is not taking a whole lot of damage in this fight.
Yeah, it was a low commitment from the Solar Scarabs, though. 50% of Yarkor's HP lost. And a great Petrify.
Stewart starts off big, finds 3 with that, but the Palau from Panatom will take Scream off the map, and Baronic will not continue his chase forward. Inbound spotted out. As soon as he walks out of the jungle, Leviathans get a nice pick onto Scream to slow down the jungler.
But what can the Leviathans do with this pressure? Seems to me the Solar Scarabs are still the aggressors in this scenario. Inbound, stepping forward.
We've got a little bit of extra power. That internal cooldown dropped just a little bit there. So this time starting to make its way back into a few of these Hunter builds.
It's just a consistent bit of, hey, this one ability going to deal a lot more damage now. And if you're initiating the fights with Centaurus, you're always applying that passive.
UCC, but has the leap to get out. Cat will chase for a little while. Panatom goes up. Palau is here. Finds 2, but quick cleanse out of Baronic will make sure that nobody gets pulled back in. And Panatom goes down. Baronic finds the snipes on the back end of the fight. Rongyu stuck in the dragon form. That lightning storm was zoning out the Scarabs from going any further in the fight. And look how far back Scary D was willing to die to keep Yark and Shinto out.
Baronic has just got Panatom's number in these fights. Can't go for that Palau if training exercise is still up, and it has been up every single time. The Solar Scarabs, they're going to pull the Fire Giant. Can Scary D keep him at bay?
Rongyu does find the stunning in Scary D, but a wall coming back, and everybody on the Scarabs has pulled off the fire and gone straight to Rongyu. Now 7-2 on it, And Yarkor up into Sent into Madness will find some damage up against Stewart, who is hot on the run. Baronic and Stewart have got to fight back into this Cthulhu, but Stewart doesn't have the health bar to do so. Meanwhile, backside of the fight, Shinto gets picked off by Scary D. Zapman can't find the last hit up against Inbound. Inbound might just make it out, but Baronic will pay for the sins. Zapman finds one, could find a second one here, if not for the ultimate from Scream.
Good Aegis from Zap, keeps him alive through the claws for just a moment. Axe buys us some time. The 3-time man made his way out.
He's gonna be out for now. Good Fear will hold back Scary D. The Mire will
Watch
also
out.
slow him down, but Scream is back in the fight. The jump is enough to secure the kill, and Yarkor is stuck around for just a little too long. It's a double kill for Scream and the Scarabs.
3 still strong from the Solar Scarabs, but that's a long team fight. The Leviathans have had time to respawn. Panatom has had time to rotate all the way back across the map. Does not once had one level here or there for the Solar Scarabs, but it's more so about the map state. It's more so about the fact that Yarkor could be dead for 10 more seconds.
See the Fire Giant started up by the Scarabs, but it's not a super heavy commit just yet. Baronic now showing up will be able to put some extra DPS into it. Panatom on the backside of the fight gets spotted out. A cat thrown his way. Fire Giant down to a quarter HP. The Scarabs are trying to find their way out. Wrong U's got to go for the transformation. Panatom on the Palau will not pull in anybody. It's a good cleanse out of the Hunter, but Inbound still gets yanked back at the end of it.
Yikes.
It's a 2-3 down already as Shinto finds massive damage with the Lightning Storm. Yarkor to zone out Scary D in the back line, but Scary D won't make it very far. Yarkor shuts him down.
Give Shinto an inch and he'll take a mile. That's the first time the Solar Scarabs did not dedicate all of their attention to shutting down this Zeus, and Shinto makes a wave in his first team fight. The Leviathans now completely flip the script. This is the portion of the game that we were concerned about now. The Leviathans proving it why. Fire Giant burned down incredibly fast. Baronic nowhere in range to defend. The reigning world champions take the largest neutral objective.
I gotta wonder where Inbound was throwing these Sunders out. It's the second relic that he picked up, and it's not just a regular old, the siphoning Sunder, it's the splashing one that you can throw out, hit multi. Tier 2 should fall just as fast here for the 3-time. Inbound trying to rotate in towards the fight. He'll spot a couple of them here, but Tier 2 is already gone. Zapman make a quick rush out. Scream is here, but intercepted by Wrong U. It's a good stun onto the support, but even better damage onto Scream. Nearly full comboed by Zapman. A little bit more damage is necessary to take him out, and it'll be Shinto who finds it on the tail end of the fight. Now a full retreat out of the Solar Scarabs because Yarkor on this Cthulhu is just W-king at the entirety of the team. Triple knockup in the midst of the fight. Inbound uses the ultimate, but maybe in vain as the Yark finds another triple before going back down into regular form.
Phoenix gonna burn quickly, and the Solar Scarabs realize they do not have a horse in this race. No defense.
I mean, in reality, when you're looking at this team, there's not a whole lot of CC outside of Scary D, who's got to get very close to pop that.
He does. Leap and aggressive from Zapman. See if maybe he can connect an axe. No good. Inbound, though. He's been caught.
Picked off and grabbed by the Palau. An easy pick here.
Watch it.
For the Solar Scarabs, but Zapman gets yanked back in. Used the beats and Aegis after he's made his way through the wall. Centaurus out of Baronic will find some solid damage on the carry of the Leviathans, but they should be fine and happy with their pick.
Zapman can resustain with Uul passive. Scary D has made the rotation. He was on that Phoenix line, allows the minion wave back in, maybe worried about the Fire Giant. In doing so, loses the Phoenix, potentially his life. Only 50% of his HP bar here. Scream nearby, should be able to resustain with that Soul Eater and maybe get involved on this fire. Not the case. The Leviathans take this one absolutely for free. That Descent into Madness finds value, could spell whether or not the game ends here or extends even further. Wrong you. Dropped low. This is an in from the Scream.
Scream goes in, does throw the ultimate, doesn't get anybody pulled back with it. A Palau will be beats away by Scream, and Yarkor up, and this Cthulhu is taking no damage whatsoever. Stewart finds a few with the Petrify. That's big damage, but so is the damage right back towards Inbound. Yarkor takes down one, finds a double knockup on this Cthulhu, but the Lightning Storm is zoning away the Solar Scarab. Scary D finds Panatom, but doesn't have enough damage to take down this dodge. Geez, somehow, some way, all of the Leviathans make it out and get
more wards deep on the Solar Scarab side of the map. This is clinical aggression. Maybe not clinical anymore. Seems like Scary D just stepped a little too far forward.
Scary D just running the only way that he can at this point. That's away from the team. Can't even go back towards his own base for safety. Zapman should have some damage to take him down. Panatom can close the gap and take out this bear. And it will be the kill going to Panatom. Now 12th one up for the Atlantis Leviathans. Out of Wrong U, the course is available. It's going to Zapman if necessary. Panatom used the Palau. Who will he pull in? Won't be inbound. He'll have the ultimate to get out. Instead, it's Baronic
Tough.
who gets yanked back in. And this Chiron on the run. A lot of damage thrown his way. A teleport in. But Baronic should be as good as dead up against these two. Who's going to get the final shot? Looks like it'll be Yarkor while inbound goes down. Baronic right after the Centaurs will only delay the inevitable. And the Atlantis Leviathans will turn this game around. They will take down Scream. They will take down 4 of the Scarabs. And they'll take down the Titan to get game number 1.
In spite of Scream's best efforts and a phenomenal early game from the Bastet, the Solar
That's the idea.
Let's find some answers to this puzzle of a draft. Solar Scarabs versus Atlantis Leviathans. Game number 2.
Yeah, let's see where everything pops out here. What's going in the jungle? What's going in the solo is the mystery question. And it will be the Morgan Le Fay jungle coming here for Scream.
If you're 2-3 levels down, there are not many hunters that still have potential to win a 1v1 against their opposition. I don't care if you're 4 levels down. Triple bounce, Ricochet, just gonna kill regardless.
Panatom wants to find a kill on this left side of the map. I'm not sure if inbound spot him. It's a blink stun out of Wrong U. Inbound will heal up a little bit in those wisps, giving enough HP for a turnaround. Stewart picks this one back up and actually gets a return fire pull in by inbound, and then locks Wrong U in place down to half HP. But the Scarabs in a 3v2. I know that the knockups really don't proc well with that one, but still down this tree nonetheless. Could be Blackthorn. There's a double knockup though from the Dragonfly. Panatom going the opposite way away from Shinto. He does get enough XP to get that Pow Lao, but will he be able to pull anybody in is the question. Scream will get cleansed out. Baronic, not so fortunate, pulled into the Pow Lao. Big damage out of Scream, and he'll drop Panatom down.
Man, the Solar Scarabs just making their weirdo picks work. Let your freak flag fly, I suppose, if you're a Solar Scarabs fan, because this is, and a Ho Yi is going to look, and neither does Scream, so he's going to go ahead and walk himself out of there and instead try and play around this mid 3v3 while the Leviathans are weakened.
Wrong U's ult is down, as is inbound and Shinto, but inbound is still taking a lot of damage. Should go down to this Pow Lao. No older beads to find their way out. Baronic doesn't have the cleanse available to help him out of there. Panatom is the one who comes out on top in the fight. But Stewart rotating all the way over from left. That'll at least secure the offering camp and an obelisk for the Scarabs.
So a little bit more gold and a little scroll to walk around with you and help out with some of these engagements. A couple of targets on the Solar Scarabs could make pretty good usage of the Scepter. I think it will likely go over to Stewart as Scream just goes in?
He's winning this one too. He 2v1s Shinto and Wrong U. Baronic wasn't even there to throw damage out there. Scream just decided he's gonna dump man. Going for a little bit more of this late game style, this early just farm path. Gilded Arrow and Devourer's Gauntlets. And Scream finally caught out for being so far up, but the detonate's not there. Scream
Are you sure?
Turns it back around, keeps up one. Stewart rotates in, finds Zapman. Now Panatom walks past 2 different people, but all the other follow-up was used to kill the other 2, so Panatom may just get to live for this team fight.
Wisp down for about 8 more seconds, so no healing available for Scream, who sticks around, takes a good deal of damage, but Shell's good.
Scream still gonna live through this. Even the Palaz's not
No
enough. The body
shots.
blocks are good. Stewart finds a double kill in the fight. The Scarabs kill 4 and lose none. Are you kidding me?
The Solar Scarabs just taking these team fights so well. Scream lives through everything. It's that Spear of the Magus lifesteal. It's the Stone of Binding defense. Just survives the detonate from there. What's Shinto gonna do? All of his abilities are down. And there is dive potential and great dive potential from the Leviathans if they are able to stabilize on the map. Wrong U specifically can just do this.
Finds 2 with the ultimate. Scream goes in and fires some long-range shots, but Panatom has chased him down, gets pushed back by the Dragonfly. Baronic left all by themselves, and the Lightning Storm will make sure he goes down, but it'll be a quick revive back in from Baronic as he gets the reset, but not enough. Shinto manages to find one, and Scary D's still in the midst of this fight, trying to find a path out. Panatom will slow him down, and Scream will throw one against the wall, but Zapman has shown up to the fight, put his name on the board, and the Leviathans find 2.
Not quite enough damage from Scream to secure that kill.
The Leviathans make it out with everybody, and they don't lose a single relic to do so, only the ultimate out of Wrong U.
And now the Solar Scarabs can start their push forward. Scary D in first, great Petrify.
Finds 3 with it. Shinto beats and ages down, and that's the call for Scream and Scary D to go to the backline. The dance is good to hold him out as Scream picks up 1 in the fight. But that Pow Lao from Panatom will not grab anybody. Now the Scarabs can fall back after the siege in the mid. They take a tier 1, and Wrong U decides to go right back in. There's no ult available. No beads to get him out of here. Wrong U will just go down.
Yeah, I don't think Wrong U realized how many Solar Scarabs were there. Blinks into 4, essentially alone, and dies alone. The Solar Scarabs, great. You gotta drag it to like their side of the map, then back to yours. It really opens you up to steals. The Solar Scarabs only do it because they realize there's no steal potential.
Scary D pops the ultimate right away. We'll get some heals through. Not quite enough to stay fully alive, but maybe with the help of the rest of the Scarabs he can. Dash away from Rongyu, but pulled back into the Palau.
Dragon
But somehow
Flight.
Scary D's able to at least walk a little further. Rongyu gets him with the ultimate, but Scream doesn't have a way to get back into this fight with those walls standing in his way. Yarkor here, so is Stewart to pop some damage, but the Bear should be able to find a path out of here unless the Scarabs can collapse in quickly.
Man, look at Scream's build before we get the re-engage. Won't get a chance. Stewart, dash forward, petrify for the slow, gets the beads off of Yarkor, can inbound connect the pull. No, sir. Misses off on his own route. Unlucky.
Unfortunate there for inbound. A rare misplay that we see there, missing his
Time
own
able to
goal.
resustain. A fair deal. The Solar Scarabs going to start to fall back. Pyromancer has respawn, so if they can rotate over, it's one way in.
Rongyu does get the ult and finds Scary D inside of the ult, but not much more beyond there. Now it's a re-engage by Scary D. Doesn't find the pull on Rongyu. The Trimmers are doing a lot of work. Scream dives under the tier 2 tower to get the kill on Shinto, but he doesn't get it. Instead, it's Scream going down, and Baronic has to finish up the job here. Rongyu goes down to Scary D. Zatman in the fight. Stewart is falling low inside the Suns as Zatman shuts him down, and the 2v2 is not looking healthy for the side of the Solar Scarabs. They've got to retreat.
It's a 2-4-2 trade, though. Zatman trying to turn it to 3 as Scary D lines up. Knock up no good. Damage is good from the 3 times. Just a couple more auto attacks is all it's going to take. Can he connect the last? Scary D slightly out of range. Dodges the ricochet. Knock up. Not on the mark. Zatman able to put him down with relative ease as Baronic and Inbound limp themselves away from that team fight. We saw Scream go into the tier 2.
I mean, could you go to Hootie?
Soul Gem? I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly here. Inbound off the mark on the pull. Some decent damage onto Yarkor from this jungle Morgan Le Fay. Yarkor at half health will have to go away, but a knockup by Inbound, and the Centaurus
God.
out of Baronic will take down Yarkor. First one off the board for the Leviathans, puts the Scarabs up and ahead in the fight, but the pull is off the mark by Inbound, and Zatman has rotated back in this fight. A shell popped by Inbound to get the team out.
Scream still full HP. Scary D and Inbound may have lost out on a little bit of their own, but healing from Sylvanas will resustain if Scary D wants to. Can just use his own ultimate to resustain his team as well. The Leviathans trying to peek in, see whether or not the Fire Giant has been pulled out. It has been. So now effects played through the fog of war. Zatman should know that it's been pulled, but they don't know how low it is. 50% already.
Rongyu will walk straight into the pit, and that calls for Scary D and Scream to go to the back line. Zatman at half will jump in themselves on out. Scary D will dance in front of Zatman, but Baronic will die in front of the Powwow. Scary D dies to Zatman. All during that fight, the Powwow will get 2 different sets of beads in that fight. The Leviathans don't lose out on anybody. They win this 5v4. They take 2, and they could just grab more. If Scream is not careful by the ricochet of Zatman, Shinto is here, and Zatman will dunk down for the kill.
Just an overcommitment from the Solar Scarabs. Scary D goes way too deep in that fight. No follow-up potential, and the Leviathan's able to turn that one around. I think had the Solar Scarabs just stuck inside the Fire Giant pit or tried to shut down Rongyu, who's level 14, by the way, when you've got a double Hunter composition, I think maybe you got enough damage to stop him from walking up on his own. But instead it's a dive-for-dive trade, and the Leviathan's dive doesn't displace somebody. So every time he has to use one of his abilities on anything else, the Solar Scarabs lose a lot of their team fight potential.
Scary D pulls in Rongyu, but not much more for pulls in Yarkor, I should say. Not much follow beyond there. Rongyu has instead gone on to Baronic. The walls have been opened up by Stewart in the backline. The Lightning Storm dropped
Look at Scream.
right on top for Shinto, but Scream is surrounded by 3, and Zatman will close that kill out. A pull in onto just Inbound. Baronic goes down because the Powwow damage was enough to grab him inside that Centaurus. Scary D isolated and dropped as well. That's 3 of the Scarabs down, and make that 4 soon after.
Good
If
kill.
Inbound could go down, Shinto finds Stewart, and Inbound, the last one alive, will be able to walk out. But Leviathan's not super healthy right now.
Here's the thing about Zeus, and when there's only one god alive on the enemy team, it becomes much easier to siege the Titan. Now you got a chain lightning target. Doesn't have to be the shield. He can hold on to that one. Inbound gonna have to play miraculously here to maintain the base.
He's gonna need to pull somebody in the fountain if that's even possible.
Do it to
for him.
Panatom, quick.
Shinto, he will pull in Panatom in. That'll take the jungler down to about half. But Leviathans, without these minions, taking a little bit longer before they can kill this Titan off. And Leviathans, one more time, down in the early game, come back in the late to make it a 2-0 sweep.
The reigning world champions prove that a good early game is not all that it takes to beat them. You got to have the follow through.